On Saturday, Francis Atwoli hosted close allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga at his residence in Kajiado. He hosted Raphael Tuju, David Murathe, Peter Kenneth, James Orengo, and Junet Mohammed. And I remember opining on this particular platform that particular meeting was significant, politically speaking, because of 3 reasons. The first reason I pointed out was the fact that the meeting was coming at a time when there was this talk of a fallout between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. And of course, we all remember that the president had to go to Raila Odinga's residence. And later on, Raila Odinga had to accompany the president to a tour of Nairobi and Kajiado just to assure their supporters. Number 2, I also pointed out that the meeting was significant because the ODM party silently were accusing Francis Atwoli of causing the havoc in Matungu constituency. ODM party believes strongly that the ANC party did not have the capacity to stage the kind of havoc they created in Matungu, and that they were really facilitated by Francis Atwoli. And it was the first time after the Matungu. And number 3, which is going to be the subject of this video, I pointed out the presence of Raphael Tuju in that particular meeting. And for those who remember, I pointed out that it was the first time I was seeing Raphael Tuju attending those meetings. And therefore, his presence signified the presence of Jubilee as a political party in that meeting. Because President Uhuru Kenyatta is always represented in those meetings by David Murathe. And yesterday, Jubilee Party slapped order with the divorce papers after the Kajiado meeting. So I want us to look at these divorce papers and why Raphael Tuju had to do whatever he did. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2 and click subscribe button. And to the subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your continued support. Now let us get to this letter. I'm going to read it via my computer, but I think you'll be able to see it on your screen there. The letter is dated 20th. It is addressed to the registrar of political parties. Dear Registrar, dear Madam Registrar, dissolution of the partial coalition agreement between Jubilee Party and PDR now order. In the run-up to 2017 election, we had entered an arrangement of cooperation with PDR in the counties of West Pokot, Wajir, Isiolo, Garissa, and Bendera, where our party had experienced the challenge of clan-guided democracy. That cooperation did not include any other county out of the specifically mentioned counties. We lodged a proposed coalition agreement with PDR in 2018 based on those specific objectives as captured in Article 3 of the agreement. Tuju is not giving us the agreement here, but what we can say or conclude is that the PDR party had specific arrangements with Jubilee as a political party. Remember, Jubilee Party wanted to control the entire country, and it merged several political parties, but they encountered a serious problem with pastoralists, especially in the northeastern counties of Garissa, Isiolo, and Mandera. So according to what Raphael Tuju is saying, is that the coalition arrangement only targeted those 4 or 5 counties. It continued, under the requirements of Political Parties Registration Regulations 2019 and the Political Parties Act at Schedule 3.3, the members of the coalition were to file, among other things, deposit a formally signed agreement, coalition nomination rules, coalition elections rules, coalition organs, and their functions as well as provision for dissolution and dispute resolutions. Now, that paragraph is self-explanatory, and I don't want to get into it because it's just the bones. Well, I'm looking for the meat. Whereas a working relationship has subsisted in the few counties that the parties intended, the members did not move or have not met this requirement, as is expected by both statute and other regulations. So Raphael Tuju is claiming that this party, PDR, has not met certain requirements. So he's continuing, the Jubilee Party National Management Committee, after considering the prevailing political and legal hurdles facing the proposed coalition, have found it improper and untenable to complete the formulation of the coalition. So basically, Raphael Tuju is saying that the National Management Committee of Jubilee Party has decided that it's not tenable to complete the formulation of the coalition agreement between ODA, which was previously the PDR, and Jubilee Party. And now listen keenly. The National Management Committee in its meeting considered the following. Number one, that all the PDR officials that were engaged in coalition discussions have been changed, and new officials have exhibited hostility by actively filling candidates in areas outside the original areas covered by the corporation. So according to Raphael Tuju, the cooperation between Jubilee and PDR was that these guys were only supposed to field candidates in West Pokot, Wajir, Isiolo, Garissa, Mandera, and not Matungu the way they did, and not Msambweni the way they did, and not Bonchari the way they're doing, and also not in which other place? Any other place outside those areas. So because of that, they're saying number two, okay, it's saying number two, there being no harmonization of our policy and vision, we have found ourselves as strange by the fellas, especially with the order use of the identity as hustler, which has negative dictionary meaning and connotation. This is also at a complete variance with our motto of Tuko Pamoja that seeks to unite Kenya and not divide them along ethnic and tribal lines. So basically, Raphael Tuju is also raising the issue of the hustler. Remember, we have in this country, we have the hustler and the dynasty. William Ruto has fashioned order as a hustler's party. So as we move forward, we are likely to see a different meaning to this particular hustler narrative. And number three, they are saying, apart from fielding candidates against Jubilee candidates, some of their members have continued to refer to Jubilee Party in a derogatory terms, even in public domain, making it impossible to engage in any coalition building discourse. The party has therefore decided to pull out of any further negotiations intended to complete the coalition process as envisaged by the Political Parties Act, and to cease any further engagement and association with the PDR, whose officials, symbols, and name has metamorphosed beyond recognition in comparison to the PDR we worked with previously. However, and without prejudice, all members of the dissolved coalition holding leadership positions in the assemblies shall continue serving as such. This is to request that you take note of the content of this letter and to put on record our revocation of the provisional coalition agreement lodged in your office on 6th May 2018 that was never completed. Raphael Tuju. Very interesting developments. In order, and in Jubilee Party. But why do you think Jubilee Party has decided to write that divorce letter to order? First of all, let us understand why Jubilee Party entered into a coalition agreement with the PDR. They didn't want to lose that segment of the country. Then William Ruto also wanted to form his own political party. The options were there: forming a new political party or joining an existing political party. Forming a new political party was not tenable for the deputy president and his team. So they opted for a very small party within Jubilee coalition. And by the time everybody realized, they had changed the officials of that party and acquired that party. They did that because, number one, PDR had a coalition agreement with the Jubilee Party. So it was easier for them to claim that they are part of Jubilee. Number two, they wanted to secure the position of William Samoei Ruto within Jubilee Party. They didn't want to give room for anybody to evict William Ruto from Jubilee Party based on association with a party which had no relationship with Jubilee Party. But divorce papers have been written. Why do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta, because this work is not work of Raphael Tuju, why do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta wants this particular coalition agreement to be terminated? Number one, I think there's a clear strategy to evict William Samoei Ruto from Jubilee Party. The eviction party, which David Murathe spoke about sometimes back, is actually loading. So William Ruto will now have only two options. The first option is to stick with Jubilee and stop any further promotion of order, or to decide and leave Jubilee for order. And if he has to do that, then it will mean resigning as the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. So I'm looking at a situation where President Uhuru Kenyatta is saying enough is enough. I can't allow you to continue using Jubilee while promoting your own political party. So they are planning eviction party. Number two, I think they want to expel certain members of parliament associating with order to force by election. And I'm looking at a situation where they're likely to identify some consequences where those members of parliament have become either unpopular or those members of parliament cannot win a re-election. And then they're going to engineer their expulsion. And once they are expelled from political party, then definitely, with the judiciary on their side, definitely a by-election is going to be occasioned. Number three, it also could be a strategy to prevent members of parliament, Jubilee members of parliament, from associating with the United Democratic Alliance Party. Because now they were saying, and William Ruto stated clearly, Kipchumba Murkomen has been very vocal on it, that they were part of Jubilee, that PDR is part of Jubilee. If that coalition is terminated, it will mean members of parliament allied to Jubilee can now not hide under the banner of Jubilee to advance order. They'll be forced out. And by being forced out, most of them will now stop associating with Jubilee Party. Because let's face it, we have 2 years to election. No politician will accept to go for a by-election or to face a by-election 2 years to the election. None. So in my considered opinion, President Uhuru Kenyatta is telling William Samoei Ruto just 3 things. Number 1, your eviction party is ready. You can't go. If you can't go, we are going to remove you. Number 2 is telling the members of parliament from Jubilee Party not to associate with that particular party, because he doesn't have any relationship now with that party called ODA or PDR. Number 3, I think, is also engineering the expulsion of some members of parliament from that party. I don't know what you think, but let us wait and see how ODA as a political party are going to react to this move by Raphael Tuju. Raphael Tuju, I've always maintained here, is an authority working under direct instruction and direct supervision of none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta. Raphael Tuju doesn't have any authority to do whatever he's doing. Remember, David Murathe was on Inoro TV and he stated clearly that these things are going to happen, and they're happening. David Murathe is also not your ordinary Kenyan. He's a key ally of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let us wait and see how events are going to unfold. Thank you, guys.